You know the feeling, that sudden, burning urge to defend yourself, to correct a lie, to prove your worth the second someone challenges you. Most people see silence in these moments as passivity, a quiet admission of guilt or defeat. But historical strategists viewed restraint differently. Withholding your reaction is the first step toward becoming psychologically untouchable. When you fire back at an insult, you validate the attacker's importance. You have allowed them to dictate your immediate priorities, pulling your attention away from your own goals to focus on theirs. By stepping into an attacker's frame to explain yourself, you surrender your ability to set the agenda. You are now dedicating your energy to their rules, and that shift from self-directed action to reactive defense marks the moment you lose your autonomy. The people who try to pull a reaction out of you are rarely interested in the truth. They are looking for control. Every poke and prod is a test, deliberately designed to map where you stand. The moment you react, you give them the exact data they want. You hand over a detailed blueprint of your emotional triggers, your boundaries, and your deepest insecurities. This is the 1532 title page of Niccolo Machiavelli's defining work, The Prince. He understood deeply that real authority does not rely on brute force. It relies almost entirely on managing how others perceive you. Action reveals intention. Every time you shift your behavior or rush to explain yourself, you expose your underlying strategy to your opponent. Once an opponent understands your strategy, they can dismantle it. Predictability is the absolute death of psychological power. Instead of giving them a reaction, you offer stillness. You create a void. When an attacker pushes hard and meets absolute silence instead of the emotional outburst they crave, it leaves them completely disoriented. Without your reaction to read, the mind is forced to fill that empty gap. Whatever aggression they sent your way bounces back, trapping them in a psychological loop known as projection. They begin projecting their own hidden fears and insecurities onto your silence, multiplying their anxiety. Left entirely to their imagination, they invent a version of you that is far more intimidating than anything you could have actually said. Strategic silence requires active management. Total isolation or hiding away often signals powerlessness rather than strength. Focus instead on controlled visibility. This means speaking rarely, acting with absolute precision, and revealing your presence only when it advances your specific direction. Influence belongs to those who dictate the rhythm of an interaction. By controlling the exact timing of tension and relief, you command the room's attention without ever needing to raise your voice. You can hold perfectly still on the outside, but if your mind is racing, if you are quietly boiling with anger or nursing a bruised ego, you are only wearing a mask. If your internal state remains chaotic, your outward discipline is an illusion. Sooner or later, someone will apply the right pressure, the mask will slip, and your entire carefully constructed image will collapse. Look at the dense, intricate layers of this early Machiavelli manuscript. It perfectly represents the hardest layer of his philosophy. True power requires conquering your own complex inner world, filtering how reality itself enters your mind. You master this by detaching completely from the outcome. You act because it serves your purpose, indifferent to receiving external validation, appreciation, or resolution. When you expect nothing from people around you, there is nothing left for them to threaten. Erasing expectation removes the final lever anyone can pull to manipulate you. When you let go of the desperate need to be understood, a magnetic reversal occurs. Instead of you chasing validation, attention begins chasing you. People naturally gravitate toward those who do not seem to need them. This magnetic pull only holds if your silent exterior is backed by genuine internal substance. Without real direction or discipline, your detachment will eventually expose you as empty. The ultimate goal is fluid autonomy. You must navigate the world, shape outcomes, and exert influence without ever exposing the exact mechanics of how you operate. Like this stone figure, you maintain an unshakable permanent core, but externally you remain entirely adaptable. One moment you are distant, the next engaged. This prevents opponents from ever locking on to your pattern. Machiavelli's laws are frequently misunderstood as tools for malicious manipulation. Their true purpose is highly defensive. They exist to protect your mind and your emotions from external control. In a world where almost everyone is emotionally exposed and frantically reacting to every slight, holding your silence makes you untouchable. Mastering the void is the ultimate form of freedom.